need to give you a little piece of advice. Be careful what you wish for. We can talk about a CNBC survey, the latest weekly unemployment claims. Today is December 28th, and these is the 5 things that I think you need to know. First and foremost, folks, let's get started with something that I think is going to be a consistent theme in 2024. In 2024, you already know that I'm calling it going to be the year of acquisitions, mergers and acquisitions. In addition to that, we are going to see more and more unicorns put out to pasture. If you don't know the reference to unicorns, this is basically is a reference to billion-dollar valuations of tech startups. There was a vintage printed in 2021, back when we had ZIRP, zero interest rates, where risk was basically zero, and people were flooding the system trying to get their little piece of various unicorns. We have already seen Bird, the electric scooter company. We've seen WeWork go BK. We will undoubtedly see more and more high flyers who are essentially now zombie unicorns either go bankrupt or get sold for parts. Again, I do believe 2024 will be a very busy year for mergers and acquisitions, but also corporate defaults. We saw another corporate default yesterday, online retailer, I'm going to call it Zulily, Z-U-L-I-L-Y. If you don't know, this company went public in 2013. At one point, it had a $9 billion valuation. And folks, it just went out of business. They couldn't compete in the ever-changing online landscape for retailers. We are going to see more and more companies go out of business. It's what happens when risk gets repriced, when the strong, frankly, get stronger and the weak go away. So very much what happened after the dot-com bust. A few went on to great things, where many simply disappeared. Next up, I want to tell you about an interview, 2 important interviews with a gentleman named Bill Allen. If you've been watching my channel for any length of time, you know that I think Bill Allen is on my personal Mount Rushmore of real estate investors. Some people have asked who is on my Mount Rushmore. 4 folks. Obviously, Bill Allen, Sam Zell, Jonathan Gray, and I will put Ken McElroy on there as well. 2 of those 4 I've spoken with. Obviously, Sam Zell, rest in peace. Remember, Sam Zell has an amazing book called Am I Being Too Subtle? It is a great read. And of course, I've been lucky enough to speak with Ken McElroy at least once before. So those are the folks who are on it. But what about Bill Allen? Bill Allen has a YouTube channel, and he interviewed me. I will put the link below. He is not yet monetized, so hey, you can watch the entire interview commercial free. This interview, we discussed lots of things that I have not been asked before, which I thought was interesting. I will put the link in the description below so you can go check it out. I hope you enjoy it. I will go there occasionally if you want to leave some comments. So again, ORENT family, go check out Bill Allen's interview of me. And then second, I interviewed him yesterday on my channel and put it out. It was a lot of fun. He is taking on something called Teenage Tycoon. We talk about at the end of the interview, which I think is very interesting and perhaps game-changing for our youth, for our kids and grandkids. So check it out. Hope you enjoy it. Rate cuts. So again, the dot plot, the Fed tells us we're getting 3. The market had originally priced in 5. It then went to 6. And now, folks, 7. There's actually a 9% chance of 9 rate cuts, which means they're basically cutting at each and every meeting. What is going on? Obviously, the market historically has been ahead of the Fed. We've seen a lot of that over the last 2 years. Is the market seeing some data coming in? Are they seeing inflation falling? Are they predicting a recession? It is very interesting to see how fast the market is pricing in cuts. I will say, 7 rate cuts feels excessive. And one of the things I've learned over the years is sometimes you have to be careful what you wish for. I believe if you're going to get 7 rate cuts, the thought of a soft landing is not possible. I can't imagine 7 rate cuts in 2024 and a soft landing. I think if you get 7 rate cuts, you have a hard landing, and it may be a spectacularly hard landing. So again, be careful what we wish for. Unemployment, again, our best weekly indicator into the job market is our weekly unemployment claims. Weekly unemployment claims come out on Thursday, I believe at 5:30 a.m. Pacific. Weekly unemployment claims this week were up 12,000 from last week, coming in at 218,000. As I've said for quite some time now, I do not believe the Fed gets concerned until the weekly unemployment claims is north of 300,000. I actually don't think they get really concerned until they're north of 325,000. One of the things that we must realize and must watch for is in early January and February, do layoffs pick up? There are potential, and I would dare say very likely, layoffs going to be announced in January that the companies just chose not to ruin the holiday season. So one of the things that you and I will be looking for on a weekly basis is this trend, which has been below 250 for most of the year. Does it pick up? I think weekly unemployment claims is important. Lastly, on that front, did you see the 10-year note yesterday? The 10-year note fell like 10 basis points. One of my big surprises of 2023 was the violent movement in the 10-year. I do believe it is up today, probably 3 basis points, but a 10 basis point move in the 10 years, not normal. I mean, when you look back historically, not normal. And again, the rate rise and rate decline has been something to watch this year. CNBC Survey. CNBC Survey went out and interviewed 300 investors. Lots of data in there. I picked out 4 metrics that I thought were interesting. Ones that I may or may not agree with, which is always fun. How about 88% of survey responders said that the Fed is doing an excellent or a good job? That is up quite significantly from 6 months ago. I don't know, 88%, that seems kind of high. I think the Fed is in a good spot now. But again, as we said earlier, the market thinks 7, you think 3. I'm not sure if that's an excellent or good job. 50% of respondents said the Fed will cut in Q2. In Q2 means they cut in May or March or May. Those are the 2 meetings in Q2, where the Fed is saying Q3. So again, we have a disagreement on when. 77% of respondents said, when asked what would do better, the Magnificent 7 or the other 493 stocks in the S&P 500, 77% would bet on the Magnificent 7 outperforming the 493. I think that's interesting, especially if you are in the bull camp that we are going higher. At some point, again, not a stock guy, just someone who watches it all the time. At some point, I think the 493 needs to broaden out to bring us higher. But again, I could be wrong, and certainly am wrong compared to the folks responding to CNBC. Again, 77% would bet on the Magnificent 7. And then the favorite stock of the Magnificent 7 was actually Microsoft. Microsoft came in at 44%, followed by NVIDIA and others. But yes, Microsoft was the, again, according to the CNBC survey, the best of the Magnificent 7. We do have, again, something else I put on here, student loan strike. I don't know if you guys are following this, but it does bear attention. Only 60% of student loan borrowers initiated payments when they restarted in October, which means 40% did not. Some are calling this a student debt strike. I am frankly not surprised. I don't know about you, but these student loan borrowers haven't made a payment in roughly 3 years. They were promised that there would be $20,000 wiped out, which again, according to statistics, would wipe out the debt for most folks. The Supreme Court obviously said it was unconstitutional. But yes, it's not surprising that I think 40%, 3 years is a long time. You probably have added on more debt. You have done other things, and having that restart it's hard to say caught you by surprise, but I do think most folks thought it would disappear. The President of the United States made all these promises. They took him at his word, and it didn't happen. So many of them probably just assumed it would be gone, maybe haven't thought about it. Again, 3 years, 36 months is quite the time. So folks, thank you very much for being here. Do me a favor, check out Bill Allen's interview of me. He asked me questions that I've never been asked before, which I think you will find fun. And of course, these two numbers on the right, my left, your right, whatever, right side, are important to me. We have 38 people signed up for the virtual event. It is my hope that we get well over 100 folks signed up. 99 bucks, 21 millionaires. Get the recording after. You don't want to miss it. It is going to be quite the event, so I will put the link below. And then finally, the Best of ORAT channel has over 1,000 subscribers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are 450 hours away. We're chunking off about 40 hours a day, which means in 11 or 12 days, we will be able to monetize. It is my hope that we do that sooner, but if you go there and watch a video or two, I would greatly appreciate it. I will stop bringing it up once we hit that 4,000 watch hours. Folks, have an amazing day. This is Thursday the 28th. The year is almost over. Take care. Bye.